Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Planting Seeds with Darlaina Rose. 100 women, 100 days, 100 interviews. And today is no different than what we have been doing thus far. These women have been amazing and doing amazing things. So let me just get us public on Facebook. Hold on. Let's get it public. Where we at? Right here, y'all. I'm so excited for my guest tonight out here absolutely doing amazing things. I can't wait to share her with you. We're going to get over to IG Live. Let's see. I'm so excited. Are you having a good Tuesday? I am absolutely having an amazing Tuesday. Hold on. Get to the right place. Okay, there we go. Plus live. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Plus. I'm so excited. Today is episode 78. So we have been here 78 days straight. So let me welcome everybody on IG. Hey, Vern, you made it home. Welcome to Planting Seeds with Darlaina Rose. 100 women, 100 days, 100 interviews. Boy, I tell you, what an amazing ride this has been. Oh my goodness, like this has turned into a whole amazing movement of women that are out here in the world just doing amazing things. So I am just so excited. IG, come to the live. I'm so excited to really just bring these women because they are just doing some really boss things out here in the world. And I am just amazed at what they are doing. Like I can't even make this stuff up about how amazing these women are. They are really just out here and just in every industry. There is no industry that is not touched by the women in this 100. Like they are really out here doing amazing things. And my guest tonight is no different. Out here just doing the daggone thing and all the while praising God at the same time. So I can't wait for y'all to meet my guest tonight. Oh my goodness, just out here. And it's certain people when they come on, they're just so amazing. Hello, my darling. How are you?
Hello, I am well. How are
you? Amazing. You look beautiful, of course.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my camera situated. Hold on.
You're fine. I'm just so glad to have you here. Welcome to 100 women, 100 days, 100 interviews. Welcome to episode 78. We have been here for 78 days straight with one dope woman after the next. And you are no different. You are amazing and dope in your own right, doing what you do out here in the world. So we are so grateful for you saying yes. Hold on. Did we lose her? Hold on. Let me make sure we didn't lose her. Hold on. We clocking right now. Hold on. Let me make sure that's not me. Okay, it's not me. All right. I think we lost her. Hold on. We're going to get her back. Let's see. There we go. All right, so she's here. We'll get her to come back on. But I'm telling you, have you guys just enjoyed these women that have been here? These women are, listen, they is kicking butt and taking names. You hear me? Every industry has been represented. We got doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs, butchers and bakers and candlestick makers. And I'm just so amazed. Like this whole thing, Tiffany, started because I really just wanted to introduce the amazing women in my network to the amazing women in my network. And it started on Women's Month. And I said, okay, I'm going to do like 30 women for the month of March. And the 30 women turned into 60, and 60 turned into 90. And then before you knew it, I was like, okay, I'm going to just have to do 100 days because 90 is uneven. That's an uneven number. So we just got to do 100. And it has truly turned into a movement. These women are supporting each other. They're showing up for each other's events and talking to each other and have created this sisterhood. And I'm just so gracious that, God would give it to me to do. I thought I was just introducing some people to some people. But no, it's so much bigger than that. So welcome, Miss Tiffany Gillespie. I'm so happy to see you here. It's been some years since I've seen you in person. The last time I saw you was at Danielle's conference, and you are truly the epitome of the entrepreneur. You are a CEO, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a licensed minister. That means that you could get my business right and pray for me too.
Amen, somebody. Amen.
What? Hold on. Wait a minute. So you're going to help me get my business together, and then you're going to lay some hands.
Amen, somebody.
On the sister. Somebody. Sometimes we need them hands laid because sometimes the business just ain't right.
Yeah.
Just listen, let me put my hands on you, honey, because I need to tell you that this ain't for you. Oh my goodness. So thank you for saying yes. Thank you for being here. I so am grateful for you saying yes, because this wouldn't work unless people say yes. So thank you for that. And so I know that you are absolutely amazing, that you have a business, Diversity Solutions. Is that right?
T3 Diversity Solutions.
T3 Diversity Solutions. And tell us, what does T3 Diversity Solutions do?
Yeah, so I have to go back and clarify one thing, because I don't want anybody to think that you are giving the tea. So I am not married yet, but if you feel in the spirit realm that my husband is on his way, I receive it. I receive it.
I might have got you mixed up with somebody else. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. Because when you said, I was like, wait, I'm not a wife. I am a wife. I'm waiting on my husband.
Yes, you are a wife in waiting. A wife in waiting, yes.
I'll let you know.
Always wife material. We wife material. We just a wife in waiting. We just a wife in waiting because we not girlfriends. We not none of that. We not side Jones. We not none of that. We are wives in waiting.
Right.
Let's get it right. Did I just coin something? Is that a thing? Wives in waiting? I'm gonna have to look that up.
I think it is. I mean, I believe that you are. I believe that you are who you are before you become who you are.
Yes.
And that is in every, capacity. When I think about the different things that I've been afforded to accomplish in my life, all of these titles and roles and responsibilities.
Yes.
I believe that I was always this person because it's the purpose that God gave me before I was even formed in my mother's womb, that I was born. We were all born to fit the purpose that God had for us. I think a lot of times, when we kind of look at some of the things that are being discussed these days, we feel like our purpose was assigned to us, but we are assigned to the purpose. So I believe that you are who you are before you become who you are. I think there are just some other things that have to happen in the process in order to prepare you for the fullness of it. So yes, we are wives in waiting.
I love it.
And waiting does not mean we're just sitting around not doing anything
no.
until our husbands come. But we are wives waiting in purpose.
Absolutely.
Okay? Waiting on purpose.
Yes. Yes.
So I agree with that. But T3 Diversity Solutions is a management consulting firm. We work exclusively with women and minority-owned companies to help them start, grow, and scale their companies. We provide them with the strategic consulting that they need, the support, access to social and financial capital through our funding partners. And we really just guide them in the process of experiencing accelerated financial growth. There are two parts to the division. There's a part that focuses solely on government and corporate contracting. And then we also have the Six Figure Society, which is focused on helping those clients who are grossing under $1 million in revenue, from $0 startups to, if you're well into the six figures, that's who we work with on that side of the business. So that's kind of a high level overview of what we do at T3.
Ooh, that's juicy. I love it. So in the spirit of Women's Month, because it's women's, we run the world. So it's Women's Month, it's women's everything. We do it all. In that spirit, is there a woman or women in your life right now that are inspiring you in the work that you do?
Yeah. Thank you. That's a really good question. So I call them my auntie mentors.
Yes.
And they are the women who have come into my life professionally, but have stayed because of the personal.
Yes.
And there are two women that come to mind. I'm forming relationship with new auntie mentors.
Yes.
But there are two women who come to mind. One of them is Victoria Hosendorf. She is the director of the business center at the Enterprise Center, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Very familiar.
If you are a business owner and you don't know about the Enterprise Center, you should.
Yes.
But our relationship started as a professional one and quickly became a personal one, and I call her my auntie mentor.
I love it.
I know that she covers me in prayer. I know that she wants what's best for me. She stretches me. She pushes me. She doesn't allow me to stay in my comfort zone.
Yes.
And it's just been, she is a woman that I did not know that I needed in my life, but, God sent her to me, and I'm grateful for that. And then the other woman who's specifically coming to mind is Mary Chapman. She is the CEO of Black Bride Magazine and BlackBride.com, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, multicultural bridal magazines in the world.
Wow.
And again, she came to me through work back in my event planning days when I was doing the weddings and social events, and we met that way. And our relationship, again, she has stretched me, forced me to grow. She opened up doors for me, has given me platforms that I don't know, that I would have otherwise had, or may have taken me longer to get there. She believed in me. I was very young when I started working with Mary. I was so young when I started working with Mary, and she believed in me. And again, another one that I know prays for me, covers me, she stretches me, when I'm being a little bit too West Baltimore. Like, girl, okay, let's reel it in. Okay, let's remember where we are. Okay, and I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yes.
She has just been such a powerful force in my life, and I could go on and continue to name women who have impacted my life, but the question was about professional.
Yes.
And professionally, those would hands down be the top two women. If we get into personal, I can go on and on with the
list. Come on, West Baltimore. Is that where you from? You from Baltimore?
That's where I grew up.
You from Baltimore? Let me say it right. Baltimore. That's what they say, two and do.
Two and do.
Yes, two and do. When my friend told, I said, where you from? She said Baltimore. I'm like, yes, absolutely. Just hilarious. And I am Vonti, all of them comedians. I love watching comedians, and they are from Baltimore as well. And I can hear it in them. And when you think about these women that you mentioned, right? What are the qualities that make them, great leaders, you think? Because it's women have to be different for some reason, and we have to have a certain skill set. And what do you think they have that helps them to be successful, their qualities as leaders?
I think that so what I have learned in my own journey is that I am a woman, and being a woman makes me unique. I think that we as a society are kind of coming into this place of embracing femininity and our womanhood and the benefit that brings to corporate structures, but it wasn't always like that. I mean, I don't even think it was 5 years ago.
No.
And certainly not 10 years ago when I, first started this journey of business ownership and entrepreneurship. But I think one of the things that makes them unique and great leaders is that they lead like women. And what I mean is that they're not trying to be a man. You know what I'm saying? They are who they are. They are firm in their expectations. They demand excellence. And they push their team. And one of the things that I appreciate about them is that they remind me of a black mother. She's gonna love you, but she's not she's not playing around.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
and
at all.
I think that they will love on you, and they're gonna support you and encourage you, but you're gonna get with the program. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna work hard, you're going to be excellent, you're going to, do better and go further and go harder and all of those things. And I think that they demand the best out of their team, but the way in which they do it is very caring, that they create a team atmosphere, an atmosphere where the voices of their team matters, even though they are the leaders and the CEOs and all of that. They create a space where the voice of their team matters, and both of them have taught me how to be a better leader, and that I don't have to be, again, I was raised in West Baltimore, so I remember for years feeling like when I would walk into boardrooms, I had to go in on guard. You know what I'm saying? I got to go in there and I got to be able to go toe to toe with the men and, with people of different races and stuff like that. And they never embodied that. They showed me a different way of being a leader, that you can, just because you're feminine doesn't mean you're weak, right?
Exactly.
We can see.
Yes.
We know things that the men can't even see.
Absolutely.
And when you let your guard down, create space to be able to, receive what God is telling you in that moment. Both of these women are Christians, so again, our conversations are different. We believe the same things. And when you lead at God's direction, I think that I know that it makes a world of difference.
Absolutely. Servant leadership. That's what it sounds like to me. Servant leadership. Absolutely. Servant leadership. I pride myself in being that way. You want to be able to serve the people that work with you. They don't work for you. They work with you. And we're all working towards a goal. And so I believe that is one of the biggest things that we must embrace. And I'm glad that they do. And that means that you do. What's your favorite thing about being a woman?
I love everything. I do. I think that, we have a lot of responsibility. I really do believe that women make this world go round. I think that, we are able to see and to perceive things that, men can or cannot see. But I think there are things that men, are able to see and to discern that we're not able to see as well. But I really believe that women just make the world go round. So my favorite thing about being a woman, and I think continuing to grow in womanhood, has really been, so that's a little bit of a different answer. I would say the thing that I love the most about being a woman is probably my femininity.
Yes.
And what that has looked like. That has been a growing process for me because, again, I was very rough around the edges.
Yes.
And I wanted to be softer.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to say that I'm softer without it coming across as like, oh, she's weak, because it's far from that.
Yes.
But I wanted to be, softer, have some smooth edges, up in there. And I think that my femininity is probably my favorite part of being a woman, and just the power that I possess, the God-given power and authority that I have.
Absolutely. I am in agreement. One of my favorite things. I like that we're so versatile. We're so versatile. We can be up, we can be down, we can be in tennis shoes and sneakers and Timbs and heels and just all of that. You just don't know how we coming, but just know we coming, and we coming strong. Know that.
Yeah.
Are there any assumptions about women that you like to change?
Oh yeah. Particularly, this is good. Particularly about productive women, or what's the word? Women who are productive in their thinking. That's the way that I like to put it. The term that the world may use is like strong-willed or being strong-minded.
Yes.
And I like to use the term productive thinkers.
Yes.
That those who are solution-oriented,
yes.
And solution-driven.
Yes.
That we get a bad rap. For being like domineering,
yes,
or controlling. And I will say sometimes, and I ain't gonna talk about nobody else, I'll talk about myself, that for me there was a spirit of control that I really had to work to be set free from. But that spirit of control is rooted in a spirit of fear and a lack of trust.
Yes.
Which is another conversation and part of a sermon that I can give, at
yes.
the time. But I would like to change this perception that just because a woman is productive, she is a productive-minded woman, that she's too hard, or that she doesn't need a man, or anything like that. Any woman who is truly wise recognizes that she does need a man.
Yeah.
And I know we live in a society like, I don't need a man, I don't need a man this, I don't need a man that. I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
There are absolutely some things in my life that I need a man for, because he was created with a different set of skills that I just wasn't created with.
Absolutely.
And I have something that he doesn't have.
Absolutely.
And I think that there is this horrible stereotype that is perpetuated by society, that would say that productive-minded women, that we are hard, we don't need a man, we don't need any of that. And I would challenge that to say that a productive-minded woman requires that a man rise to the occasion, that you must also be productive-minded as well. I can't be the only one coming up with solutions.
Absolutely.
And when I don't accept that you are not productive in your everyday living, then I'm being the one that got the issue. Not you, because you're a grown man that's not productive-minded.
Yes.
But because I am an adult woman that is productive-minded, I'm the one that's deemed to have an issue. And that's one thing that I would love to change about the perception of women. There's some other things that I could list, but I would definitely say that that's like number one.
It's a big one. It's a big one. And probably out of 78 episodes, we've probably heard that 78 times. For sure. We've heard that 70, because we get that bad, oh, she's a B and she's a this, and it's really not that. It's not that at all. We are just who we are, and we know what we know, and we do what we do. It is not anything about being too strong or too this or too that. We're just working. We're just working. And so I love that. Yes. What do you believe will be the biggest challenge for the generation of women that's coming behind us?
Oh, Lord Jesus, don't even get me started. Let's see. The biggest challenge for the generation of women coming behind us, I would say, oh goodness, that's heavy. Okay, so here's what I think the biggest challenge is identity. I think the biggest challenge is identity on so many levels.
Yes.
I will. I won't go too deep into it, but I can sum it up by saying this: that one of the things that I have realized, and it started with my own journey, and now I can see it in other people, is that there are many people existing in this world who do not know who they are in God. And for me and my faith, they don't know who they are in Christ.
Yes.
Regardless of what your spiritual beliefs are, you have got to believe that you have a purpose, that you understand that purpose.
Yes.
That your purpose as a woman is bigger than what you can do for someone.
Absolutely.
And when we talk about it, if you spend any amount of time with me, you will quickly realize that my faith is the anchor of everything that I do. I can't really have, a conversation without incorporating some piece of my faith. Now, I'm not a Bible thumper. I ain't going to knock you over the head with the Bible.
Yes,
but my
yes.
faith is definitely going to be in everything that I discuss.
Absolutely.
And there are so many, and this is something that grieves me as an intercessor for God's people, always praying for God's people, is that, like, we as a whole, like God's children, we don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And we are out here, competing with the world for some accolade that is worldly. And one of my favorite scriptures that I've been standing on, it's in Matthew, I believe in chapter 6 rather, but it talks about praying. It's actually talking about praying, and the scripture is talking about like praying in public, and like, if you pray, stand in the square in order to be seen, the applause that you receive will be your greatest reward. And when we think about that and just kind of apply it to life, there are so many of us who are living to seek the approval of other lost people, of other people who don't know their identity. How is it that someone who doesn't understand who they are in God, you've given them the power to determine who you are, right?
Yes.
That they become your measure of what your identity is.
Yes.
We see a lot of clones, right? That everybody looks the same. They dress the same. They sound the same. They do the same things. And, for those individuals who stand out and they're a little bit different, that they're the ones seen as the outcast and all of those things. And I would say that for me, and this is something like I pray about, I'm serious, and this is not a lie. Every time I'm on my knees in prayer, one of the things that I seriously pray about is, are my children. I don't have any biological children. I have godchildren who I've actively raised since they were born. So when people see me refer to my children, that's what I'm talking about, because they are my kids.
Gotcha.
But, when I think about them, I have a teenager. She's about to be 16 in July.
Nice.
And it has been an interesting journey raising a teenager during this time. And when I think about my own biological children, and I want to be a foster parent. So even when I think about that, right, down the line, one of the things that I pray about for my kids every day is their identity.
Yes.
Because they don't, I'm so concerned about them, being lost in this world, and again, measuring who they are against a world that does not care about them.
Absolutely.
That is not for them. A world that is lost and has no clue of its own identity, yet you're giving them the ability to shape yours. So I'll stop there. I'll go ahead and get off my soapbox, but I wish
the people love it.
I don't even see it. The sad part is that not only do I see it with the next generation, I see it with this generation, with our generation.
Yeah.
And I think that, each generation has a responsibility to lead the one that comes after it. If the generation behind us or the one that's coming up after us is lost, it's partially our fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like if we're a lost generation, it is partially the fault of the people that came before us, because they did not teach us.
Absolutely.
They did not embrace us. Instead of saying like, oh, I don't understand them, and why are they doing this and why are they doing that? Why don't you try embracing this? Teaching them what has worked for you, so that they will have some sort of solid foundation. And I'm concerned about a generation that seeks its applause from people, because that's the greatest reward that you will receive. If you are living to please people, that applause that you get, it's all you're going to get. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm going to need something better than the applause of fickle people.
Yes, absolutely. Laverne said relationships and connection. She said we are not in relationship and connected with spirit to even begin to be in relationship and connect with ourselves to know who we are. And she said identities are being snatched. Just being snatched. And it's true. And that's why it's so important that, even in this movement and in your work and the work that each of the women do, we each have to teach. We each have to reach one. We each have to teach one. If we all do that, just with the 100 women, that's 100 people being touched. 100 people being touch another 100 and another 100 and so on and so on and so on. And that's what I see. I see a group of women that just want to. And as a former foster mother, I was a foster mother for 20 years. I took care of kids in the Philadelphia system with DHS and a couple of other agencies. And I see so many people doing it for the wrong reasons. And so to hear you say that, I know that you're doing it for the right reasons and that these children will leave you in a better way than what they came. And, a lot of my foster children are still my children. They grown now, they're doing well, and some of them not so well, but they know that I'm always here. And that's what they were missing in their lives in the beginning, not having the right guidance. And so I thank you for the idea of doing that. And so in the spirit of the 100 Women movement and you, Miss Tiffany Gillespie, being here, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to share with our viewers?
So let's think, what would I like to share? I think the biggest thing that I always love to leave with people, and it's something that I live by. I had a brain surgery in April of 2013, and there was a promise that I made to God before I went into brain surgery. I mean, it was like a couple of days before. I hadn't been fearful. It was, really nerve-wracking, but I hadn't been fearful leading up to surgery. And I'll never forget, I believe that my surgery was on like a Friday. It was either a Friday or a Monday, but I remember that I went to 6 a.m. prayer at my church on the Thursday before my surgery. And I broke down. Like, it was the first day that I broke down, and I was like, wait, like, you're really about to have brain surgery. Like, this is a whole real thing.
Yes.
That's really about to happen.
Yes.
And I think the magnitude and the weight of it hit me in that moment. But the morning of the surgery, as I'm being wheeled in, they let your family like come back and talk to you, and then they take everyone away. You're just there waiting. And I remember, getting wheeled down the hall to the room. And I made this promise to God. I said, listen, if you bring me out of this with all of my pieces, my parts, my faculties, my capabilities, if you bring me out of this with all of that, I will spend the rest of my life living out loud and on purpose for you. And that's the thing that I would want to leave with every single person that is watching this message, is to make a decision and a commitment today to live out loud and on purpose for God. Live out loud and on purpose. And I'm not going to pretend that I got it right the first time. It took me years to really feel like I was upholding my end of the bargain. It took a couple of times for God to be like, daughter, remember that you had said like you were going to live out loud on purpose for me. Well, you're not really doing it, right? You're shrinking. You're playing small. You're staying within your comfort zone. You're not doing the things that you were that you promised to do or that you were called to do. You're not living at the fullness. You're not living in the fullness of what I have for you. And I had to make some different decisions about the way that I wanted to live my life. And it was a decision to keep the promise that I made.
Yes.
And that is to live out loud and on purpose every day for God.
Wow. Yes, yes, and yes. And doing that as a ordained minister.
Yes. Listen, that is the interesting part is I just got licensed back in December, the beginning of December 8th, 2020 was the date of my official license. And this goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, that you are who you are before you become who you are.
Yes.
Is that I was operating in I started operating in who God called me to be at a young age.
Yes.
Ministry has been a perfecting work. Okay, because baby, let me tell you, when I brought up in the church house in June 2011, oh my, if I had my pastor one here, he would have some stories to tell you. If I had some of my auntie mentors from the church house, they would have some stories to tell you.
I love it.
The ministry has been a perfecting work. I'm not perfect now, but I was far from it. I was even further from it. When I came to ministry, and again, I would say that you don't need a title. You don't need ministry in order to be the hands and feet of God, right? Yes. That I was who I was before a title was placed on it. The title was the thing that made sense. It was like the next thing that really kind of should have happened because the work was already being done, and I'm grateful for it.
Yes.
I'm grateful for the outward and public acknowledgement of what was happening privately and internally. But I'm privileged at a young age. I'm still young to be, licensed as a minister of the gospel of Christ and to carry this message forward.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so tell people how they can work with you, where they can find you, your websites, all of that kind of good stuff. Please let us know how we can connect with you.
Absolutely. So the easiest way is to follow me on Instagram, because once you do that, I think that this particular Instagram page kind of leads you everywhere else that you need to go. But you can follow me on Instagram at I Build Businesses. You can also visit the website for the company, which is T3DiversitySolutions.com. You can schedule time for us to have a consultation. I love doing consultations and meeting new people. So if you have a business, if you want to start a business, and you are clear about your purpose behind that business, we only build legacy businesses. We are not doing the fluff. So unless you're trying to leave something to your children's children, I'm not the coach for you. There is someone out there, but I'm not going to be the one for you. So if you know that you're looking to leave a sustainable legacy and something that impacts the generations to come, then please, reach out, and then, you can send me a direct message, and we'll go from there. Speaking engagements and all of that type of stuff. If you want to request that, again, everything can be done either at T3 Diversity Solutions or TiffanyGillespie.com. If you get confused, just send me a direct message here on Instagram.
I love it. Come through legacy building business, okay? If you can't come in to build something for your children's children, don't even call. I heard that loud and clear. Don't call me. I ain't the one. That's right. I ain't the one. And we talk about that all the time. We want to be the person in our families that's breaking these generational curses and changing these cycles. We want to build something for our children's children. I know that is 100% my goal. And if you talk to any of my 8 grandchildren, they will absolutely tell you that my mom is building something for me. They will tell you. So, Miss Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. Oh my God. You have so much great information for us. I'm absolutely going to make sure, and we're going to make sure we get you in the Telegram group, the Facebook group, so that all of the women in the group can follow you, talk to you. Who knows, somebody in there may be looking for you. Somebody in there might be a new auntie mentor for you. Who knows? But what I know is it's a movement, and thank you. Yes, what I know is it is 100% a movement, and you are now a part of that movement. So thank you for being here. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, same station, 7 p.m. Eastern time for episode 79 with a new amazing and dope woman. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for staying over a little bit overtime, but we appreciate you so much. Yes, Miss Sonia Burris. Miss Sonia Burris has been shouting the whole time. She been hashtagging and snapping 5 and all kinds of good stuff the whole show. So, and Saeed Tosh, who's that? Sade. There's gonna be this video. Yeah, this episode will be housed on IGTV, so you will be able to see it. I will tag Tiffany in it, so you will be able to see it, and that's where it will be housed. So you'll be able to watch it from beginning to end. So you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thanks, Tiff. Bye. What an amazing, amazing thing.